All right, guys, it is draft week, and I am so psyched. Psyched to be with you guys, psyched to be back on the air, and I can't wait for our new Denver Broncos, who will be on the team in just a few days. Super exciting. All right, here's what happened. I sent out a tweet today, as I like to do, because I'm old and old-fashioned. Call your shot. Name one prospect who will be a Denver Bronco by Sunday. Said I'd go first, sticking with my Cam Scatabo agenda in the fourth round. I'm saying he's going to be a Bronco. It's destiny. He's perfect fit for Sean Payton, and I'm the only person that thinks that, and that's cool. That's what's great about this time of year. So, and before we get too far into this, I apologize for my voice. It's kind of in and out. It's allergy season here at the Carmelini Ranch, and I've got some water with me, and hopefully we'll get through. But it should be fun. I'm going to highlight a few answers that I got on this tweet, and we're going to look at. We're also going to look at Daniel Jeremiah's top 150. Just came out about an hour ago. We'll see where some of these players that you guys are naming when you called your shot, saying that they'll be a Bronco. So, and then we'll go look and see, give it like the odds, the chances. I mean, you guys call your shot. I know Scatabo, all these are going to be tough. The more obvious ones I haven't seen in the responses yet to the tweet. But I've got 3 pretty prominent mock drafts up here too that are queued up. I haven't looked at them yet. We're going to see who these guys are mocking to the Broncos at 20. See if we can find some consensus. I've got some big boards, and let's get into it. First of all, let's check. Just going to check on Ben here. Shout out to Ben at Sports Talk Denver. He and his family. This week, we're all thinking about you and praying for you guys, Ben. I know that you already put it out there, what's going on, so I'm not giving anything away. But we're all thinking about your wife. Wednesday night, we'll be checking in with you guys. So God bless you guys. Praying for you. And all right, so here's my channel, guys. You're already watching it, so you know it's there. But there we are, 687 subscribers. Thank you so much to all of you. About 2.5 months in to be here, pushing up against 700 subscribers. It just means the world to me. If you're new to the channel, I would appreciate you subscribing to the channel. It helps me out. And also, just so you know what we do, or what I do, is I bring in 2 guys from 2 separate shows and kind of do an around the horn kind of thing. Here you got Ryan Edwards, you got Coach Mike Sanford, you got Brandon Perna, you got Mario Vitanzi. Just a great array of Broncos talent out there that have all come on the show in the last couple months and played some trivia, given us some great inside nuggets and takes. It's just been a blast. It's been a blast interacting with everybody in the chats. And it's been a great off season, and the season's going to be even better because after the games, we're going to bring them in. We're going to talk about the games. Ben from Sports Talk Denver and I are going to be doing our power rankings every week. Hopefully Tuesday nights, we're still working out the details of that. And then also, I think we're going to be doing, we'll do some live streams of the games too when we have time. But we'll definitely be doing post games, and I think we'll hopefully, depending on how things go this week. We're doing a live stream of the draft on. If not, we'll be watching, everybody else's live streams. And anyways, without further ado, here's the tweet. And so I call Cam Scatabo. I think we get him in the 4th. Some people have him in the 3rd. I don't really know, but I think Sean Payton loves him. In fact, I know he does. I don't know that he'll get him, because I think there's a few other teams that love him too. But as it stands right now, if I were to call a shot, so it's easy to say, Hampton or maybe even a Henderson would be, good picks here as your lock. But my lock, I think that there's a lot in play with those guys. And it's not, and the thing about this one is not only is it someone who I honestly think the Broncos uh, will choose. It's somebody that I'd love them to, and he's one of those guys that I just think is going to prove a lot of people wrong, because he's he's a slow back, right? And when we're at draft time, we're all about numbers. We're all about what they did in the short shuttles or their 40 times or whatever. But if you go back and you watch Scadabo's film and the way that he can kind of manipulate his way through the pocket, I think he does it better than anybody this side of Genty, and maybe even just as well as Genty does. In fact, I think the only thing that really separates Genty and Scadabo is the speed and a few other things. Let's be honest, Genty's special. I don't want to go too far, but obviously I'm a Scadabo stan. So I came in with Scadabo. Denver Dan's got Quinshawn Judkins. So he'd be the other half of the Trevion Henderson running back duo, right? And then I think he thought we might be able to get him late second, if I remember right. Yeah, trade up in the second to get him. Probably gets drafted 451. So that would be him calling his shot. Denver Dan's a great follow. It's at Dork Draft, which is a great name too. And there he is right there for you guys. He's got 1,500 followers, so maybe you guys already do follow him. Hopefully you do. And if you're out there watching, hop over here on YouTube and get in the chat. I want to hear you call your shots. It's Monday. I know we've got time, and I'm not asking you to do a mock draft or anything, but just like find that one player that you're like, that guy's going to be a Bronco. I've seen some interesting names down this list right here. Of course, Andy 2Y's NFL. He's got Terrence Ferguson. I think I listed him as one of my favorites. He's certainly could be a Bronco. That's a great call. Love that. Love the position value too. Hunter Wooler. I think he's a safety, right? So he would be what, a fourth rounder? Maybe. I'm not a draft expert. Frustrated called that one. That's a good shot. And I like Denny Bronx says Tez Johnson, which would be really cool, as we all know. But he's the 150-pound NFL player. So I think I've seen him projected as high as a fourth round or fifth rounder. So it can't be fourth round because that's where we're taking Scadabo, DB. So maybe in the fifth or sixth round, if he's around, I could see it. Elijah Arroyo, that's Brandon English, came over with that in round 2. Man, he knows something I don't know. Troy says Tommy Malo or Melot. And I have to admit that I don't know who that is. Sorry. Not a draft guru. Hunter Wells Kimley, I don't know you, but hello and welcome to my Twitter feed. Okay. I do like Devin Neal in the third. I can see that one happening. Defensive tackle from Ole Miss, I'm not familiar with other than seeing the name bounce around. Hey, Nick likes my Scadabo higher than the fourth round. And that's Ronald Reagan for you infants out there that don't know who that is. And then jump ball Marvin Mims, Trevion Henderson, round 1. Certainly a possibility. And we'll see how that goes. I have to check a few minutes. Terrence Ferguson makes too much sense from Bryce, Mile High Mims. Everybody knows who that is. Great follow if you're not following him. Oh, Josh Steckline, another big Twitter follow. Woody Marks. So let's see what we got going here there, Woody Marks. You so I know Josh. Here we go. Woody Marks. Okay. Dynamic running back nobody's talking about. All right, catches out of the backfield, soft hands. You guys can see this, right? Woo! Hello. All right. I mean, I'm a one highlight guy. That's how I scout players. He's in. USC. Wow, he's shifty. Good call, Josh, as always. All right, so I need to unshare the screen because I sent out a message for some intel for one of my insiders. Oh, I guess I misspoke. Sorry about that. Talking about someone else. All right, so I have to apologize to someone in my Twitter feed. I had put that Omarion Hampton had some injury concerns. Turns out that they were talking about someone else. So because I couldn't find anything on him, he had like a bruised thigh or something, and then an ankle injury from a couple years ago. And I couldn't find any other injury concerns about Omarion Hampton. And so I'm going to guess that maybe this person was talking about Loveland and his torn shoulder and not about Omarion Hampton. So I apologize to you, and I will clean up that Twitter crap here in a minute. So let's get back on track and get out of there before somebody sees who I'm talking to. And let's check comments in there. Hey, what's up there, buddy? What's going on, Richie Rich? Good to see you, partner. Welcome in. And as always, I always appreciate your input. Let's get. All right. So we've got some names there. There's been some updates to Daniel Jeremiah's top 150. Now, as far as those names go, I don't think we're going to see like these guaranteed locks at the top here. But Travis Hunter, obviously Abdul Carter, and Ashton Genty, 1, 2, 3. Top 3 players in the draft. Mason Graham. All these guys are going to be gone other than Tyler Warren in the top 10, I would imagine. And there's Colston Loveland. So let's assume, and I'm still on board with Loveland at 20. I'm still on board with Omarion Hampton at 20. Looks like Rich is, still on a Grant, and then try and get Henderson later. Yep, that would be the move there. If they go that direction, I agree. All right, so we're not going to find any of those names. Okay, so Omarion Hampton is the 13th ranked player on Daniel Jeremiah's top 150. And honestly, is he the first player that the Broncos legitimately have a shot at drafting, other than getting crazy? Because the Broncos are not going to, they're going to have to get all the way up to 5 to get Ashton Genty. Whether they actually have to get there or not, I don't know, but that's where everybody thinks they're going to need to get, which means essentially they're going to have to trade up to 5 to get Ashton Genty to trade with Jacksonville, right? Get ahead of the Raiders for sure. And it might be smokescreen stuff. We don't know. But if Genty is possibly going 5 to Jacksonville and then possibly going 6 to the Raiders, you probably need to go to 5 if you really, really want him. Now, I am one of those sort of crazy people that's willing to do anything for that sort of weapon, like a possibility of having a top 3 running back in the league, top 5 for sure in my book. I would make that kind of move. 90% of the people that I follow, that I trust and respect, would say that that's crazy. And I totally get it. Totally get it. But last year I totally said I was all in on Bo Nix, and I would move hell and earth to make that happen, because there are just so rarely are there players that move needles like Ashton Genty does. And not that Bo Nix moved the needle like that, but at the quarterback position, when you don't have one, I'm willing to take that shot. And so again, my knock on Ashton Genty is I guess the best way to put it would be the competition he played against. Like it's like when I watch him play, it almost seems like people just fall off him. There's a lot of room there. I mean, he's dynamic. He looks fantastic, but I just, is he going to be more than a really good running back in the NFL? And that I can't say. And I can't say that he would be markedly better than, say, an Omarion Hampton or a Trevion Henderson, or some of those other guys. So if they did it, I would be super excited. I would toast Sean Payton and George Payton for doing it. But yeah, I don't see that happening. So Walker Warren, he could be a trade up candidate. I know there's a lot of talk about trading up the Broncos. I think most of that is just, content being driven by the never ending cycle of NFL content that we need. Because of course, Sean and George have called every team and said, what would it cost to move up? Are you interested? What would it cost? It doesn't mean they're moving up. There's no more of that than there was 2 days ago. So I can definitely see them sitting still, moving back, or moving up. Don't know. I think Holston Loveland's another player. Actually, both of these guys are possibles. Like Tyler Warren, I could see them moving up for both of those. And then I could see them moving up for Omarion Hampton if they lose faith that he'll be there. Let me get caught back up into the Yep, that'll affect things. William, yes, I hope some come on Trevion Henderson. He's the best back in my eyes. I think some people do see it that way, William. And welcome to the show. Love having you here. I don't think I've seen you before. If I have, I apologize. It's because you just have a W on there, so I don't know who you are. But welcome. Rich, sorry, it also depends on how many short bus GMs we have that make bad draft moves and take some rando guy in the first who really ought to be a second and third. Well, that's going to definitely happen. Thank God for those people. And then you've got concerns on Genty. Let's get those up here too, so everybody can see. My concern on Genty is that he thinks he's really good. The risk there is that he comes to the NFL and doesn't push himself. I mean, I haven't seen that, but if you have seen that, then that would be scary. Broncos don't like prima donnas. We ship them to Cleveland. That's just me. All right, so let's do this. Let me just double check. This is PFF's big board. I want to see where they have. So they've got Genty 3. Wow, they got Teteroa McMillan at 4. Let's see where they've got Omarion Hampton. There's Tyler Warren. There's Loveland. We got to be getting into the Hampton area here pretty soon. Are they really low on him? Looks like it. I didn't skip him, did I, guys? There he is. They've got him. So PFF has Omarion Hampton at 26th. Is one of the class most physically gifted running backs with his combination of size, explosiveness, and lower body strength. He can be a productive slasher, type of runner behind zone schemes. His overall vision would make him a boom or bust producer. I thought he had pretty good vision myself, honestly. So I don't know what their knock is on him, but. And then let's see where they're mocking. So this first one up will be NFL.com. And so no surprise here. We got Cam Ward. We should have Travis Hunter. And then there's Abdul. I think everybody just kind of starts following everybody. So here we go. This one does have Ashton Genty at 5 to the Jags. So this is what I'm saying. This is where Denver would have to go to make a move. That's a first and another first and probably a second and even me, Mr. Aggressive, Mr. Vegas, would balk at doing that, which would put the Raiders on Graham. I don't know if they're smart enough to do that, but I mean, they got a new regime there. I mean, we can't judge the Raiders too much on their past now. There's a whole new front office and everything happening there now. So we don't really know what to expect from them. All right, let's get out of here and let's see. Okay, Tyler Warren to Chicago. Interesting. Is that interesting to anybody but me? And then Teteroa McMillan goes to the Cowboys. It'd be a good pick for the Cowboys. I think a lot of people have a different receiver going there, though, right? And Golden, maybe? Okay, Broncos, where are you at? All right, Broncos. Omarion Hampton at 20 would be the pick, according to this mock draft on NFL.com. Broncos quietly are creeping up on the NFL's big boys. Let's go. And adding a 3-down lead back up to up that development, speed up that development. Hampton could be a big producer in Sean Payton's offense. Yeah, agree. Jackson Dart. That's going to be interesting, man. This draft is going to be so much fun. Just seeing what happens with like Jackson Dart, Shedeur Sanders, and all that stuff. Wow. All right, so there's an Amari Hampton in the draft there. Let's go to PFF mock draft. All 7 rounds. Look at these guys. So this is their analysts do this. Let's see if we find. Oh, they've got Shedeur Sanders going second to Cleveland. I mean, I do not see that happening, but it certainly could. And then Travis Hunter would go to New York. That would shake up the whole thing. Hey, at least it's different, right? It's nice to see something different going on here. Typical. Whoa. Heroic McMillan to the Raiders? I'm starting to think these guys this must have been done on 420 and these guys were getting high. Will Johnson to Carolina. I think these guys are just getting cute here, to be honest with you. A tackle to the Bears. Actually, that kind of makes sense. Amika to the Cowboys actually makes sense too. I could see that happening. Oh, and then they got Ashton Genty going to Miami. Holy shit. Can you imagine? That might save somebody's job. Wow. Man, I would think the Broncos would try and get here somehow. God, look at that, San Francisco. You don't think that the Broncos could swing a trade with the 49ers for the 11th spot? If Genty fell past the Bears, this is so unrealistic. This looks like some 15-year-old's mock draft. All right, what do we got? Oh, and here we go. Denver Broncos, Omari Hampton. So that's 2 in a row. Broncos running games failed to pick up steam since Sean Payton took over as head coach, ranking 31st in yards after contact. Throwing salt on the wound. Hampton would boost that number day one. Evans buys 4.29s after contact per attempt. 97th percentile over the last 2 seasons. Love that. And that's the thing. So I think I said it already. If I didn't, I meant to. I think that we put a little too much on speed on our running backs. And maybe this is when I was talking about Scatabo, but speed backs are great, but if they can't find the hole, if they can't make the right reads, if they can't pass block, pass pro, and if they can't weed their way through a really tight openings, then the speed just doesn't count for much. Maybe once or twice a game they'll get some yards, but I think we've seen over and over again that backs like Terrell Davis that just have a great feel and patience and vision, that kind of stuff trumps speed. And there's exceptions to all these rules. All right, USA Today. This is our last one. We'll look at this one. Nate Davis. I do respect his a little bit. So Cam Ward. I mean, it just looks like Tennessee's going to go Cam Ward, right, guys? Cleveland Browns. Yep. Abdul Carter. So pretty typical all the way through here. And there goes Genty. So we got 2 mocks have Genty going to Jacksonville at 5. I really do think that takes the Broncos completely out of if they were ever in on the Ashton Genty move up for. And then the Raiders with an offensive tackle. Again, I wonder if they would even try and trade back at this point. If Genty is their target, and we don't know that, but if Genty is the Raiders' target, would they try and trade back too? And who would even trade back, and for whom? It's gonna be tough. I know. We all follow the same news, and I think we've all seen that it's going to be tough to trade back, find somebody to trade up. All right, here we go. Saints. I know a lot of people talking about Shedeur to the Saints, but on this one they go with Mason Graham. Oh, we should go back and check. That's just interesting, right? So who do these guys have for the Saints? Will Campbell. And then Shador. Okay. So one of those. And Broncos. And last check. Sorry, guys. So there's Matthew Golden, the Cowboys. See, that's the one I've seen more of, right? I think that's probably more realistic. And then the Dolphins on this mock draft go from Genty to cornerback Will Johnson. So it's got to be depressing. At least it would be for me if that guy fell into our lap. And then, yeah, Amari and Hampton. So all three of these mock drafts have, and I know Mel Kiper does too. I think that's just kind of it's like manifest destiny. Maybe it's just going to happen. They somehow ranked 16th in rushing last season, even though their top gainer is now departed. Pookie Williams, who had just 513 yards. Wow, it was so bad. Next level production, rushing 15 TDs, at least 15 yards, and each of his past 2 seasons for the Tar Heels to go along with 67 total catches. He can catch the ball. And he's 6 feet 221, and he ran a 4.4. So he's got good speed. It's actually a really good speed for running back. It's durable. Like I said earlier, I had reached out to someone who made a comment, and I thought that they were talking about Omari Hampton that had an injury issue. And I didn't know what that was because I couldn't find anything on it, but he did get back to me and tell me that, no, he was talking about somebody else. So that is cool. And I will check. Yeah. Oh, okay. So he's talking about Harmon. So Harmon has some injury issues. And let me just thank him for that. Okay. Good deal. Thank you for that. Now, we can get back to our regularly scheduled cluster of information about the draft. Guys, Mason Taylor, Jacob Romano thinks that, calling his shot, he thinks that Mason Taylor will be a Bronco, which would be nice. And it looks like Jake thinks we can get him sometime in the second round, which would be really good value for all you value guys. And the way I look at draft value is like, kind of drives me a little bit crazy. Because it's like you go to shop for a car and you got the Toyota 4Runner right in front of you and it's $50,000. And the draft value guy's like, well, why would I do that when I can buy a Subaru and a Volkswagen Jetta for $50,000 and I have 2 cars? And I'm like, yeah, but you could have had the 4Runner. You get me. Drives me crazy. So this came out a little bit ago. I think you guys, maybe you saw this. Teams interested in trading back in the first round include the Jaguars at pick 5. So, the plot thickens, right? Like would the Broncos be? They're not, right? They're not that crazy. They can't be. I'm that crazy, but I don't think they are. But it's sure, God, when you see that number there, yeah, all these guys are going to want to trade back. If he slips, yeah, they could take him. I mean, they could. The Broncos could Thursday night get Genty, but I am definitely going to say, okay, yeah, that's a little rich. Another Tez Johnson vote. Not even a Broncos fan, but it's too perfect not to happen. Thanks to that big Hank. Denver Sports. He's got this guy from MSU. Thanks. Like I'm a draft junkie and I know who that is. Do you guys know who this is? Anybody know who that is? We'll thank him for participating though. Another Mason Taylor vote. So calling your shots, guys. I like it. Anybody out there going to call their shot in the comments before I go? Look, you guys are all making observations, but nobody's actually calling their shot. Like what prospect will be a Bronco on Sunday night when we finish this up? And I've had a few people say Tez Johnson would be fun. Y'all know the story there, hopefully. But again, he's 5'9", 150 pounds. I wouldn't draft him until at least the 6th or 7th round if I were any team. But I would draft him just so that he doesn't go because I think if he goes to the free agency stuff, well, I think the Broncos would be able to get him over most teams, obviously, because Bo Nix is there. But I still don't know if I would use a draft pick on him unless I was worried about him going somewhere else. I don't think the Broncos need to worry about that. I guess they could probably wait. They could just call him and say, hey, we're bringing you in. So who are you talking about? So, yeah, Keenan Muma. Who's your Muma? Who's your mama? I love it. I think he's going to be a borderline first. Mason Taylor? Could be. Yep. Don't forget my Scatabo. Just look at that. Look at that face. Don't you want that guy being on your team? Of course you do. Come on, guys. Get on board with my Scatabo agenda. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about this.
He potentially in circles now thinks that the team that's going to be potentially super aggressive will be Denver. And we'll see if Denver is, in fact, the team. We know that Sean Payton likes to come flying up the board. He's got a pretty good football team. Maybe next year's one is kind of a, it's like maybe that's a late pick, in the first.
Could be like a 32nd pick. Next year's number 1 pick. All right, I'm dreaming. Could be, though. I like that. Could be a high, could be like a 20. What are we, 20th this year? Next year, it could be a 26th pick in the first round. Would you trade that away for Ashton Genty? A-Rod says, yeah, go get him. Love it. I love it because it's exciting. I love doing this for you guys. I love these impromptu little shows that I do that are just so completely disorganized and whatnot. But again, if you are, new to the channel, just line up. All these people that you already know and love that have been on the show in the last couple months. Love to come in and talk about your Broncos with me. And we keep score. We announce winners. We have fun. We play a little trivia. We do a little taboo game. We have to get them to guess the name of players without giving them the names. They got a minute to do it. It's just like a little game show between, all your favorite hosts out there. So I hope to be one of those at some point in time. And I will work hard to do that. And when I'm not doing that, I am supporting all the other fine Broncos shows in Broncos country. I do love them. I love to review them. I love to help them out, as they all have helped me out tremendously. And mostly, I want to thank all you subscribers because it has been an amazing couple months of just watching the show take off. And so I'm really enjoying it and enjoying being just this kind of different show. And I decided that I would not try to be like anybody else because I can't do what they do. But what I can do is love the Broncos, and I can talk about them all day. And if I had the time, I probably would. But guys, thanks for coming in and joining me. We did a quick, half hour here. I made my shot. I'm saying it's going to be Cam Scatabo will be a Bronco by Sunday night. I'm risking my whole reputation on it. And if I'm wrong, I will delete my nothing. I'm not going to delete anything because that would be stupid. But I'm going to enjoy, I kept track of all these calls, and if you have them, make sure you respond to that tweet, and we'll see who gets it right. Maybe we'll come up with some sort of little prize or something if anybody gets it right. But looks like everybody thinks we're going to get Amari Hampton at 20. So how would you guys feel about that if that happens? Leave that in the comments if you would. Again, please subscribe to the show. We're 13 away from 700, and yeah. That's a big number for me. We'll hit 1,000 before the season starts. I promise you that. And so until next time, though, thank you so much for coming in. Rich, William, You guys, thanks for coming in the chat. I love that. It's so hard to do shows when the you do a show in the middle of the day, and of course everybody's got stuff going on. It's so lovely to see you guys in the chat to say hello, and it helps me, keeps me on. I don't know, keeps my brain moving in the right direction. Anyways, I guess I will see you guys tomorrow night. I will be on Let's Talk Broncos Altitude Adjustment. It's called Engage 8 with Mario Vitanzi and Pat Chiotti and a gaggle of other guys. It looks like there's going to be 10 total. So 8 of us and 2 of them, or 6 of us and 2 of them. Maybe it's 8. I'm not sure how they do it, but yeah, it's like it's just going to be all draft talk. And those guys are all the experts. I'll just be in there to make them look smart because I'll be looking stupid. But until next time, guys, go Broncos, go Ben and family.